Hi, I'm Sam with JBugs.com. Come with me while I seal the deal. I'm putting these windows in.
With the side windows and seals reinstalled in our last video, we'll now get the front and rear windows put back in place. That starts at our bench by removing the aluminum trim and seals from the original glass. The original trim isn't made new, so we carefully slide back one of the clips that conceal the joints between the two pieces, and we try to pry the rubber and the trim back from the glass. The trim isn't popping out to allow the rubber to come off the glass much, so we gently pry the trim away from the rubber, and we can see that it's been glued to the seal. So we continue pulling the trim free of the rubber until it can be removed. With one side of the trim pulled out, the other half and the seal can be slid off the rear window, and the glass is set aside so we can pull the trim out of the seal. Unfortunately, when we were doing this installation, we didn't have the Deluxe American style seals in stock, but we'll save the trim for the owner so that they can put the trim in later if they'd like. Next, we'll spend a few moments cleaning up the glass, especially the edges where the new rubber seal will sit. While we're doing that, can you take a few moments and click on the like and subscribe buttons for us? Now we can install our new window seal, and starting with the molded seam installed at the bottom middle of the glass, we work the seal back and forth onto the edge. Since there's plenty of slack in the seal as we begin, installation is fairly easy at first, but as more of the seal gets worked into place, it becomes tougher and tougher to install the rubber onto the glass. We'll note that the rear glass is tempered and considerably stronger than the windshield, so moving it around and setting it at on angles is easier to do than with the laminated windshield. Once the seal is all in place, we flip the rear window over, and we feed a piece of 18-gauge wire through the body of an old ballpoint pen with a narrow tip. Then, with a length of wire sticking out of our plastic tube, we feed the wire into the inner lip of the rubber seal, near the bottom middle of the glass. We use the tube as a guide and feeding tube to insert the wire all the way around the groove in the seal and overlap it just past the middle of the glass. We spray the rubber seal with silicone lubricant to help it slide in place into the body, spread it on the seal, and then set the glass and rubber into the opening at the rear of the car, with the wire end sitting inside of the car. Some of the excess silicone is wiped up, and the glass is pushed into the opening to make sure it's centered. Inside the car, the furthest wire is pulled across the bottom of the window to pull the rubber lip inside the car, while we push on the window from the outside. An assistant is handy, but not necessary, as I'm showing here. We pull the wire in until the wire and the lip are pulled into the upper corner of the glass. Then the other end of the wire is pulled into the car to the bottom corner of the glass. Outside the car, the glass is pressed into the car at all the corners. Then, back inside the car, we continue pulling the wire into the car across the top. From the opposite side, we push the glass in a bit more, and then pull the remaining bit of wire from the bottom corner up until the wire is pulled free and the entire lip of the seal is inside the car. Again, outside the car, the glass is pushed into the body a bit more, along with a couple of slaps. Then we use a trim tool to pry the outer lip of the rubber out away from the window opening so that it lays flat with the glass. And we work our way all the way around the rubber seal, pressing the glass into place further as we go to ensure the glass is fully seated into the body. A few more slaps further drive the point home, and we wipe up the excess silicone and clean up the glass. The same process applies for the windshield, with the seal coming off the glass much easier. The trim is pulled out of the seal and set aside for safekeeping. A new seal is installed onto the glass, but this time we are more cautious handling the laminated safety glass, as it is very prone to cracking. We feed our wire into the inner lip of the seal using our plastic pen body feed tube, and generously spray the seal with silicone lube. The glass is placed into the opening of the body carefully, and we follow the same steps of pulling the wire inside, while carefully pressing flat-handed on the outside of the glass. Whenever we slap the glass, we use a flat hand or palm. We don't want to put too much pressure on any one area, and even go so far as to remove any rings on our fingers for this process. Once the glass is back in place, the lip is pried out with the trim tool, the wiper arms and blades are set back in place, and we clean the glass and any excess silicone up. We continue with a full cleaning of the car to remove any glue or silicone from the body and upholstery. And now we'll sit around and wait for some original front seats to come in that the owner located, so we can reupholster them to match the rear seat. Until they come in though, thanks for watching, and let us know if you have any questions in the comments below.